return of AJ Lee, timed perfectly to serve as a distraction for Punk's attack. Instead of a heartwarming comeback, fans witnessed manipulation, deceit, and a WWE, CM Punk, AJ Lee, and the shocking betrayal of Seth Rollins. Professional wrestling has always thrived on drama, betrayal, and unforgettable moments. From shocking heel turns to unexpected alliances, WWE knows how to grab the world's attention. But what unfolded on Monday Night Raw this week was something entirely different, something far more disturbing. This wasn't just a storyline twist, it was a carefully calculated conspiracy, orchestrated by two of the most polarizing figures in wrestling history, CM Punk and AJ Lee. Together, they executed one of the most cowardly ambushes ever seen on WWE television, targeting none other than Seth Rollins, the very man who had extended respect and goodwill to Punk upon his return. What makes this betrayal even more appalling is the way AJ Lee's much-anticipated return was used as a smokescreen, manipulating fans' emotions while covering for Punk's vicious assault. This wasn't nostalgia. This wasn't empowerment. This was deception at its most cynical. Let's break down what really happened, why it matters, and why this night will go down as one of the darkest chapters in WWE history. A coward's attack. Punk's strikes from behind the scene began innocently enough. Seth Rollins, one of WWE's hardest-working and most loyal performers, was ringside, greeting fans and signing autographs. His guard was down. His focus was on the people who've supported him throughout his career. From out of nowhere, CM Punk blindsided Rollins with a brutal strike. No face-to-face confrontation, no fair warning, just a savage attack from behind. This wasn't bravery. This wasn't competition. This was cowardice. Punk, who has long proclaimed himself the best in the world, showed the exact opposite. Rather than proving himself in a fair fight, he resorted to ambush tactics that put Rollins' career in jeopardy. AJ Lee's return. A celebration turned to ashes. At first, fans erupted with joy when AJ Lee's music hit. For years, chants of AJ Lee had echoed through arenas, with fans hoping to see one of the most influential women in WWE history return. Her presence should have been a feel-good moment, a symbol of empowerment and nostalgia. But instead, her comeback was weaponized. As AJ skipped down the ramp, her presence became the perfect distraction. All eyes were on her, and in that very moment, Punk seized the opportunity to strike. The timing was too perfect to be coincidence. This wasn't a spontaneous reunion. This was part of the plan all along. The betrayal cut deep. AJ Lee, once seen as a pioneer for women in wrestling, allowed herself to be used as cover for Punk's vendetta. What could have been a triumphant return instantly became tainted by manipulation and deceit. The web of jealousy and resentment. The answer lies in months of seething resentment. Ever since Punk's absence from WWE, Seth Rollins has risen to the top of the industry, main eventing WrestleMania, carrying championships, and cementing his legacy as a leader of the new era. Backstage whispers revealed Punk has long harbored jealousy, claiming Rollins took the spot that belonged to him. That jealousy festered into bitterness, and bitterness, in true Punk fashion, turned into action. But Punk didn't act alone. By tying AJ Lee's return to his ambush, he ensured the spotlight would be split. Half the crowd cheering AJ, half the crowd condemning him. It's a classic tactic of distraction. Confuse the audience, muddy the emotions, and walk away without full accountability. The ultimate betrayal of trust. What makes this entire incident even more gut-wrenching is the fact that Seth Rollins had been one of Punk's biggest supporters upon his WWE comeback. When critics questioned Punk's motives, Rollins defended him. When others doubted his commitment, Rollins vouched for him. In public interviews, Seth went out of his way to welcome Punk back with respect. And this is how he was repaid. Blindsided, humiliated, and left potentially injured by the very man he trusted. If there is one thing worse than an attack, it's an attack from someone you believe was on your side. That is betrayal in its purest, most devastating form. AJ Lee, from role model to accomplice. Once celebrated as a trailblazer in women's wrestling, AJ stood for empowerment, individuality, and breaking barriers. Fans admired her authenticity and independence. Now her legacy risks being overshadowed by her complicity in Punk's scheme. Instead of being the returning hero fans hoped for, she became a willing participant in a plot designed to harm another performer. Her involvement sends a troubling message that women's wrestling in this case was reduced to a mere distraction tool used to cover for male violence. This undermines the hard work of every female superstar currently carrying WWE's women's division. A dark day for WWE. At its core, professional wrestling is built on respect. Respect for the craft, respect for the performers, and respect for the fans. On Monday Night Raw, CM Punk and AJ Lee shattered that respect. They chose selfishness over sportsmanship, manipulation over honesty, and cowardice over courage. For Seth Rollins, the scars, both physical and emotional, may linger far longer than anyone realizes. For AJ Lee, the legacy she worked so hard to build now hangs in the balance. And for CM Punk, his reputation as a rebel who spoke truth to power has been exposed for what it really is: bitterness disguised as bravery. This wasn't just an attack. This was betrayal, and it will be remembered as one of the darkest nights in WWE history. The impact on fans and legacy. For fans, this incident was whiplash. The joy of AJ Lee's return was instantly poisoned by the bitterness of Punk's actions. Instead of celebrating, fans were left conflicted, cheers turning into boos, excitement turning into disgust. International media has already latched onto the story, portraying WWE as an organization in chaos, unable to control its stars. Sponsors are watching closely, and ticket sales have begun to feel the ripple effects. And perhaps most tragically, AJ Lee's long-awaited return is forever tied to Punk's cowardly ambush. What should have been her moment of glory became her moment of shame. Conclusion. In the end, CM Punk and AJ Lee's shocking betrayal of Seth Rollins will be remembered not as great storytelling, but as one of the most cowardly and calculated acts in WWE history. What should have been a heartwarming return turned into a carefully orchestrated deception, leaving fans conflicted and the locker room divided. Rollins, a man who showed nothing but respect, was left humiliated and vulnerable. This night exposed not just Punk's bitterness, but WWE's willingness to exploit chaos for ratings. It was not a victory, but a disgraceful reminder of how far trust can be broken.